First thing we got to do is demo the handrails. We're going to replace those. There's a couple of deck boards we're going to replace, pressure wash everything and stain it. It's going to look like a brand new deck when we're done. Let's break something. And that's the fun part, is knocking all this stuff off, because it's a lot easier than having to build everything back. But now we got all our handrails off, you can see how much better it's already looking. So I just bought a little pump sprayer from Walmart, and then this extremely intricate mixture of a little bit of bleach, a little bit of borax, and some water mixed up real good. I don't really have an exact measurements or anything, I just kind of mixed it all together, and that just helps break up the algae and stuff on the deck. And here's a little known secret, Miss 731 loves to pressure wash. She pressure washed almost the entire deck, then our son finished up the other half. But you can see how much better this was already looking. You can see the dirt and the grime coming off. Once that was done, I carried around these temporary workbenches, and then also brought my saw around so that I could build everything in place. So we got all these handrails taken down. Demo day is always awesome. We've pressure washed everything. Now we're going to start repairing the deck, building some handrails. I got a couple of boards to replace on the deck that are just a little soft. Now I'm just going to go ahead and replace them while we're doing this. We're going to start on the handrails, and I did what any self-respecting woodworker would do when he's not been building handrails for the last 10 years. I went to YouTube and looked and seen which ones I like. I'm going to kind of mimic those. Let's do it. I didn't think that through. So I'm just going to use my Maska pocket hole jig and put 2 pocket holes in each end on the top and the bottom. We're going to have this board standing upright like that. And the good thing about the Maska is it comes apart, so you can use it on material thicker than 2 inches. And of course these are 3.5. So just right in the center of this 2x4, I've got the depths collar set. So be sure to check with your local building code so that your handrails are in code. But I'm gonna make these, they're gonna wind up being about 44 at the max at the top, once the top of the rail is on. So I'm gonna set these at about 43. Once I got the height set, I'm gonna use these outdoor pocket hole screws. For the bottom rail, we still got the pocket holes drilled. And then I just cut some 3-inch blocks. Again, check your local code on how far you have to keep yours up off the deck. But I just cut some 3-inch blocks out of the 2x4 material, and we're just gonna set it in there and put it in place. So I'm doing pocket holes, I'm the pocket hole king. Actually, I chose the pocket holes, one, because I like them, and I feel like it's more secure than just trying to toenail this thing in. So over the top, I'm just gonna put a deck rail up here, or a deck board. I've already cut it to length, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it on so that when we start putting our ballasts on, I'll just butt it up underneath there and it'll hit that. So to secure this into the 2x4, I'm just gonna use a countersink bit and drill down. I've got it flush on the front. Exterior screws. So on the top side of the bottom rail, I'm just going to toenail it in. In other words, I'm just going to angle a screw in there. On the bottom side, I've got pocket holes under there. You don't want a pocket hole on top. I kind of started thinking about this after I've done this rail, because that's going to hold water. So I'm just going to take a pocket hole plug and glue in there so that I seal that off. I don't want that holding water for the next however long this is going to be here. Just toenail the top and then pocket hole the bottom is all I'm going to do. So I actually didn't even know you could buy these ballasts. I mean, I'm not a deck guy. So this actually saved me a lot of work, because I thought I was gonna have to rip down some 2x4s. But so I'm gonna cut these at 40 inches. They come 42 inches long. As you can see, they're not exactly the same. How they kind of lining up this end down here, it's actually cut on a 45. That part goes down. I've already cut this one at 40 inches. It's gonna line up one end on all those, and then we'll make our cut. And it don't have to be exact. We're building a deck, not a clock. I'm gonna go ahead and pre-drill the holes across the top and across the bottom. I just measured down about 2 inches from the top, and about 2 3/4 inch from the long angle up 2 3/4. I'm gonna drill right in the middle, countersink bit, and then we'll go install them. So you'll need to check your code for proper spacing. I'm going with a 4-inch space, and then I will split the difference on the ends next to the poles. So I got just a 4-inch spacer block that I'm going to put in between all of them just to keep it the same. Then I'm just going to use this board as just the thickness of a 2x4 away from the pole. And this is going to be the longest process of the whole deck remodel, is putting in these ballasts. You see we space them out evenly before we decide where we're going to start putting them up. That gets your spaces equal between your poles. Then me and Miss 731 put them up. Right here you see me squeezing in on the edge of that deck. I didn't want to fall off, but hard to get in there with that holly bush there because it'll get you. And then once we got to the other end, it was pretty easy. I was able to stand easily and then screw the ballast in from the outside while Miss 731 held the spacer. I had to replace these stair treads. Some of them were in worse shape than others, but I went ahead and replaced all of them with just a common treated 2x12. Whew, now that it's all done, you can sit back, enjoy what you've done. This thing is looking awesome. I love the way this is turning out. Can't wait to see what it's gonna look like with the stain we're putting on next. All right, continuing this DIY deck makeover, we're gonna start putting on the stain. We're using Cabot Australian wood oil in Jarrah Brown. Jarrah Brown, is that the name of it? Jarrah Brown, something like that. And we're gonna put this on there. I'm gonna spray most of it with my Finish Max sprayer, and then we'll brush up against the house. You saw we put the plastic up against the house to try to keep the overspray off of the house. Let's do it. So this little Home Right sprayer made quick work, as quick as you can stain an entire deck. I can't imagine how long it would have taken me to roll or brush this on. I am so thankful for this little $100 sprayer. When you spray it, make sure you're getting those little nooks and crannies like that. I went ahead and done the outside board as well. We tried to start actually brushing this on next to the house, but that didn't work because it was getting too dark versus where I sprayed at. So I just continued to spray, and then we just moved the plastic down as needed. And I just hung that plastic up there. It just stuck with regular old good old fashioned duct tape. Sprayed a little square there in the corner, moved the pots and plants over there so that I could just continue to spray on the deck. I did put a little thicker coat on the deck than I did the handrails because I wasn't as worried about runs at that point. You can see where I tried to just keep it off the house as much as possible, but it did get on the side. Miss 731 come back behind me with mineral spirits on a rag, and it wiped right off. And we were walking on the wet stain, but it really didn't affect anything at all. I mean, it's a deck. I didn't want to paint myself into a corner, as they say, so I started up there and worked my way down to the stairs with this. And then the last step of the stain, I went ahead and sprayed the stair treads with a good thick coat. And the thing is, we bought 2 gallons of this Australian oil from Cabot and only used about 1.5 gallons on the deck plus the outdoor sectional build. Look at that. Man, it looked good. I like how that looks. That is a good looking color. That Jarrah Brown looks really good on that deck. I do want to mention that we did wait 48 hours between the time we pressure washed and the time we stained. Time to load the deck back with all the stuff that we have on there to help us relax on those nice spring and summer days. Now here was the heavy part, bringing that big old beast of an outdoor sectional. If you hadn't seen that video, I'll link it in the description below. It is a beautiful build. You can do it with basic tools and common lumber. There it is in the weather, the new deck, the new stain, everything getting rained on. You can see it beading up. We got some new post caps, have LED lights in them. This is just such a beautiful area to help us relax. You may want to hit that subscribe button because soon we've got a wood gazebo coming that we've ordered. I'm going to be assembling that and putting it over this area where our lounge area is, where the sectional as well as those rocking chairs are, so that we can have some shade from that summer sun as well as a little protection from the rain if we want to sit out there in the rain. Go ahead and click that next video right there on your screen now to watch the DIY modern outdoor sofa build video. I think you'll get some value out of that, be able to build your own sectional for your outdoor space, whether that be a patio, a deck, or even a backyard. Using common lumber and some basic tools, you'll be able to build this. Clicking that video gets you that big old virtual fist bump.